Here with head baseball coach Rob Ehlers, as well as senior outfielder Zach Gasper and sophomore pitcher Carson Wireman. To all of you, just last year was a tremendous year of growth from the program. Won 8 games in 2023. Last year, you more than tripled that win total and had the first winning season in 10 years, 26 and 21 overall. First, Coach, just kind of talk about where the program was now at this point now compared to where it was a season ago at this point in January 2024.
Well, I think the easiest thing would be to say that, walking in a door was kind of an open book, and I had expectations and, processes by, the way I wanted to teach these guys how to play winning baseball and how we were going to act on and off the field and how we were going to attack the classroom and become a team and men all combined. And, there was some gingerness there in the very beginning. But as the season rolled on and we started to believe and the guys started to understand that what we were teaching was showing the results, I think the guys started to believe in themselves, and the wins just kind of started to come, and the enjoyment from my side started to come. And I think, where are we now? I think the guys understand what I want, what I expect, and they also know that if they do the things that I preach over and over daily, that the wins will be there because they've seen it this time. They don't have to just blindly believe in me now that they know, now that they understand that it can lead to success.
Zach, that same question to you. What's the program? How has that mindset and just what you've seen in the work changed over the last year?
Yeah, I think compared to last year, I think the guys now they know, they've seen it, and they believe, and I think we kind of carry that with us every day when we're at practice, whether we're in your squad or whatever it may be. We give 110%.
Carson, then the same for you. You were a freshman coming in last year. What's the culture been like and how it's changed in the last year?
Yeah, so I'll build off Coach here. I walked in the doors and Coach had his arms open for me, and I didn't really know what to expect. But after a few weeks went by, we got settled in, and as the season went on, we kind of started off rough, but then we got over the hump a little bit, and we kind of figured it out. So I think now we're pretty settled in. We know what to expect. Coach knows what to expect for us, and just hoping for a good season.
Coach, how do you feel about the work that the guys that are returning have put in, as well as the leadership that they've provided? And then also, what are your thoughts on the incoming class, both the incoming freshmen as well as junior college and transfers and just transfers in general, and what they brought to the table?
Well, I think the guys that returned kind of set the table and kind of, they become the communicators and teaching the new guys, what to expect. And, I think we all have our pet peeves and things that we really are tight on as coaches. And so they let those guys know, hey, we hustle, we move, we get our butts down, and we do the small things to win. And that's the things that I harp on. And so I think they become the liaison, and they build that culture. And I think the new guys have stepped in and worked really hard. I think, on the defensive side, the guys have really bought into, the approach and how we play baseball, and that's take care of the ball defensively and collect outs. And at the end of the game, we're going to be where we need to be. Offensively, they've worked really hard with Coach Krebs in the cage, and on the new guys on the mound have really worked hard with Coach Lowe and understanding that his philosophy on the mound and how we're going to change speeds and read the scouting report, and we're going to execute the way we need to do it.
Zach, just you obviously being a veteran of the program, how has the program progressed since when you started as a freshman to now at this point in time?
Yeah, I think the culture has changed a lot, and credit to Coach Ehlers for that, and just the overall structure of everything we do has changed a lot. in a lot of good ways, and I think that's part of our success and why we were able to be so successful last year and hope to be successful this year. And it's great. I'm glad to see it, and it's what I wished would have happened when I first got here, but I'm glad that I'm experiencing it now.
Carson, you posted the lowest ERA by any pitcher in 10 seasons in 2024, and that guy that posted the last ERA under yours is a Hall of Famer. It will be in April. What have you worked on this offseason to attempt to match, kind of replicate those numbers?
I think the biggest thing this offseason was working with my pitching coach, Coach Lowe. Coach Ehlers brought in a new guy. I think the best thing you can do as a pitcher is get on the same page as your pitching coach. You know, if you two are on the same page, then things are going to go a lot better than if you guys aren't. And the same thing with my catchers too. If you're on the same page with your catchers, it's just going to go nice and smoothly. And I think that's where you got to start out off at.
Then back to you, Zach, from an offensive lineup and fielding standpoint, just how you feel about what y'all can do in those areas. You guys return a lot of veteran leadership across the board, outfield-wise. Nolan Tressler and Tyler Lund are two big key pieces that are back beside you in the outfield. And then Michael DeJesus is a guy that came up big in at-bats, playing DH and then playing some in the outfield as well. And that's just outfield. You've got some key infielders coming back. So how do you feel about where you guys can be?
Yeah, I think we've improved a lot more from last year. Me, Tressler, and Tyler have always been great communicators in the outfield. We know each other very well. We know how to back each other up. And even in the infield, even though we have new guys in the infield, I think they've developed some good chemistry, and I don't think that'll be a problem for them at all. And from a hitting standpoint, we got a lot of good guys that are going to put the ball in play. I think that's kind of our identity this year, and should continue to be our identity. And some mistakes may happen. We might hit some home runs, but that's not our identity. We're a contact team, and we use it that way if we want to win ball games.
Carson, just the coaching staff brought in a great deal of pitching arms, that can log innings and provide a more complete, competitive bullpen. How's that made the pitching staff better in the offseason, and how do you anticipate that translating into actual games? With more guys competing, that's obviously going to make everybody better and the whole culture better.
Yeah, it's definitely made it more competitive, and kudos to Coach Lowe and Coach Ehlers for bringing in more arms. When you have more arms, it just sets you up for a better chance to win. And having these pitchers at practice, knowing that nothing's going to be handed to you, that you got to work at what you're going to do, and Coach is going to put his best out there come week one. And so I think that has made it more competitive, throughout live outings and live ABs. And I think that we're just ready to go in there, coach can put whoever he wants in there, and I think it's going to be good.
Lastly, how do you feel about the schedule in the conference slate? IU Southeast did an outstanding job representing the conference on a national scale in NAIA tournament in the opening round, and just was relentless. Had that don't give up till the final out mentality. You guys showed the same in the River States conference tournament. Oakland City and IU Kokomo, West Virginia Tech were all competitive last year as well. So conference again looks very tough top to bottom.
Yes, I think that a lot of the teams that were strong last year have gotten stronger. I expect Oklahoma City, I know revamped a little bit of their lineup. I know some of the guys they brought in are really strong. I anticipate them coming here and giving us everything that they have. Their first trip here to Grand Tribune Park. So, IU Southeast comes to us again this year. We have to go to IU Kokomo. That's never a fun place to play. Big ballpark, big dugouts, everything's spread out. You're in a little bit different environment than the close-in confines of Grand Tribune Park. Their stadium's a big place. Stands, everything. So it's different. This is going to be my first time going to West Virginia, playing West Virginia Tech, and they play in a very similar stadium. So I anticipate that being, new for a lot of the guys. I don't think any been there. So, these are new, first time that we all get to go there. So, our goal is to go down there and get 3 wins.
Zach, your thoughts on that as well, the schedule, conference?
I think it presents a challenge for us. I know, like last year, we did very well against ISL East, not so much Oakland City, and I think there's definitely room for improvement against Oakland City, and I think we should be ready to play them this year and try and get those wins that we didn't get last year. West Virginia Tech, like Coach said, none of us have ever really been there. I think it'll present a good challenge for us as well. I know going to their place it's going to be tough, but we did it last year and we don't even we can't do it this year.
Carson, thoughts on schedule?
Yeah, so I kind of came in blindfolded coming last season, and I didn't really know what to expect, especially in the new conference and everything. So by the end of the season last year, I knew, this conference is competitive, and it's really anyone's ball game when you first get out there.